No.
We are live. Hello, Scott Ferguson.
Danny, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well.
Get my book on for my boy over here.
Hey,
Look at that guy.
Man. That's
that
it.
handsome dude right there. Look at that guy.
That's a good-looking guy there.
He is. He signed it for me and everything. You're a rock star. You're a rock star, man.
Scott, thanks for joining me today, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks for going through those technical challenges that we just had there. Tell us about yourself, Scott. Today, I'll give a little bit of a background for the listeners and the viewers. Scott is just a tremendous resource of knowledge. Time to Shine podcast, and he is somebody that deconstructs some of the most incredible people in the world and finds out what drives them, what makes them tick, what makes them work. And today I wanted to have a conversation with Scott about the top 3 things that mega real estate agents do on a daily basis for success, but not just mega agents, but also the highly successful people in the world. So Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and let's jump into this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, Dan. I really, really appreciate it. It's reciprocal. I mean, I had Dan on my Time to Shine Today podcast, and he absolutely just rocked it. Fantastic. And you got to pick up his book. I'm going to plug him again. I'm already like halfway through, and I only started about 3 days ago. Just fantastic information. I mean, Dan's from the trenches, and he gets it done. And you know what? I've been a residential real estate agent since 1998, 22 years, bounced from Detroit, where I started, the armpit of America, which I'm allowed to say that. I treat Detroit like a little brother, like I'm allowed to talk about him, but nobody else is, you know. But no, I started real estate there, relocated down to South Florida in Palm Beach County, 2014, and just been rocking it, man. I'm a veteran, did a bunch of deployments between 1990 and 1997. Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia. So I'm kind of a patriot kind of guy. Love my country, love serving people. And that's just me, man. I'm just happy and blessed to be here, brother.
Awesome, man. Thanks again for joining me, Scott. So Detroit to Florida. And so you had to you had a career in Detroit, and then you got up, relocated, halfway, a third across the country, and had to restart. So how'd you do that? Tell us about that.
You know what? When I had a pretty solid business in Detroit, and people thought that I was really crazy, but I competed in bodybuilding shows like my whole life. And and basically one time after a show, I got super sick. I got this crazy ear infection, and I asked my doctor, I was like, would warm weather help? He's like, absolutely. So I went down to Florida. And my best friend from womb to tomb that I grew up with lives down here. I came and lived with him for a couple months, and then got a guy that fueled the real estate. I'm like, I can do this because people down here are lazy compared to what I'm from in the Midwest, where we grind.
Agents?
Yes, agents wise.
Yeah.
So when I came down here, man, I just started running, contacting landlords, listing a lot of rentals, and started getting up my rental business first. Which has turned in the past 6 years into buyers, sellers, etc. So for me, the transition, Dan, was super easy. Just because I grind every single day. I mean, I had to go through the recession in Detroit, where it got hit probably the second or third hardest in the nation.
Yeah.
And I survived and came out on top. So I think that I always found a way. I like to affectionately call it inventing money. Found different ways to get out there ethically and get more business. So that's what I did. I started up my Heroes program, palmbeachheroes.com, here in South Florida. And, that's really started attacking the police officers, firefighters, not attacking them, but, attacking their business.
Man, that's a bad phraseology.
Yeah, right. So not only do I give, I give them 20% of my commission when I do this. So, and I also strategically align with title companies, attorneys, lenders, whatnot down here that will give them a Heroes discount as well. And so that for me, it was not that hard. I'm not a big hitter. Like there's some people that have been born and raised here in South Florida, but I came down here and made my mark. I was with Keller Williams at the time, and I capped in you can look it up. You're with Keller Williams. So, you can look it up. I capped in 72 days. That's how fast I capped. So it was just, I came down here and crushed it, and just kept on rolling and rolling and rolling. One month I closed like 22 rentals, just grinded it out. But now those people, half of those are all buyers now and coming up and again on selling that property. So to me, I just said, I'm a no excuses guy. I just came down and I get the sunshine every single day.
Yeah.
That's me.
Man, you talking me into it. I'm going to relocate here.
Come on down, bro.
Let's do it. All right. So tell me, so you do a podcast. How long have you been doing your podcast? Tell us about that.
100. It's funny. I dropped episode 100 today.
Okay.
197 days ago. I dropped episode 100 today. So we're dropping 3 to 5 eps a week. What I do is with Time to Shine Today, it started as a side hustle where I would teach people how to make their first dollar online. And then, but the people, my squad that I call them, my varsity squad, they range from people with nothing to a lot. $1 million, $2 million a year earners are subscribers. I have over 50,000 subscribers. And so I wanted to get, with my background, which I won't dive into that, but I grew up in an orphanage. I was kind of passed around. I always felt like I never belonged anywhere until the military, which I'm sure you can attest to that a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically, with Time to Shine Today, our credo is we don't want anyone to feel like they have no one. So no matter what your situation, if you're a veteran or somebody that's contemplating suicide, I have 4 or 5 people that I've interviewed that I can put those people with to help them level up and kind of come out of that funk. If you're a $500,000 year earner and you want to make $1 million, I got like 7 coaches that I can put you with to help you level up. If you're a real estate agent that's looking to level up and you did 2 million, you want to go up to 5 million, 10 million, I got you that I can put these people with that will help them level up through your C.P.I, consistent, predictable income. You know what I'm saying? So that's with me. What I want to do is put so many people together. Now I set up as affiliates with each one of these people. And so I do make money through Time to Shine Today with that, but all the podcasting, I carry all the costs on that. Well, not anymore. I just got sponsored like a month ago. So I'm getting paid.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm getting paid, pretty well per episode now.
Yeah.
So it pays for itself.
Okay.
So I'm able to, instead of going across the street to Palm Beach State and getting somebody to, on an internship to do all my editing, and the turnovers like every 2 to 3 months because their internship's done, I can hire somebody because of the sponsorship. So, it's been a lot of fun. The podcast is fun. You came on, your show will drop in about 3 weeks. I can't wait for it. Going to ramp you up and get you out there. But just we don't want anyone to feel like they have no one, Dan, and that's my credo. What I went through, I've faced abandonment. I've faced a lot of stuff in my life. So that's what we are.
Well, kudos to you. And what I really am impressed with is how you can, it's some people, they have a challenging upbringing or challenging circumstances, and then they take control of their lives. And other people have a challenging upbringing, challenging circumstances, and then they never live up to their potential because, and it's almost the same reason. It's like, well, how could I not be this person to help other people? Because look where I came from, or, on the other side of that is how could I not be this person because look where I came from, and then, not live their life. So I really want to honor you for that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was that guy. I was that victim. Even when I got out of the service, I was that guy. But I was like getting up in the morning, I was personal training people, just got licensed in real estate, working real estate, and at night I was bouncing or bartending. But like one of the guys named Gary Shapiro is a huge hitter to this day, Jewish guy that's in Detroit area, West Bloomfield, Michigan. And I was his trainer. And like I kept on talking and kind of not complaining, but just like on. He's like, dude, responsibility, take responsibility. He's like, responsibility is the ability to respond. It's rooted right in the word. He's like, dude, any situation you're in does not mean it's you. So I was literally spotting him on overhead presses, and I was standing behind him, and I stopped spotting him and was like, holy crap, that's right, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's rooted right in the word responsibility. It's ability to respond. So now that's how I look at any situation is how am I going to respond to it, and how would a winner respond to it?
Yeah, remind me never to give you advice when you're spotting me, please.
Thanks, Danny. Good luck, buddy. I'm going to take some notes.
Oh man! All right, so in the 100 plus episodes that you just dropped number 100, and you have others that you've already done. What have you learned? And then not only that, but also with your own personal experience in real estate sales, what have you learned that the top achievers in real estate or in just in life, what do they do that you've seen that are common patterns?
One, their morning routine. It sounds cliche, but their morning routine is solid. The same people that are closing $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a month are in the office. Yeah. They got their morning routine. But even before they get in the office, I've even talked to them like, what is it? What is your morning routine? Because they're peers of mine, because I did the numbers they have before, they tell me, and they're like, I'm up early. I take care of family time, me time, and make sure I'm getting hydrated, get moving, and stuff. And down here in Florida, it's like health. You know what I'm saying? That's how they are. So they're all about health, health, health. So I believe that morning routine is huge. Secondly,
you already know 87% of all real estate agents fail in this business. And you also know it doesn't have to be that way. If you're a real estate agent and you're looking for consistent and predictable income, I invite for you to get your free copy of Real Estate Evolution, the 10-step guide to C.P.I, consistent and predictable income for real estate agents. And you can do so when you visit www.therealestateevolution.com. I'll share with you your book that I authored to show you the way, and it's free. You just have to pay for the shipping. Thanks.
They believe that God gave them one mouth and two ears for a reason, so they shut up when they talk to people, and they listen. And they actually not only listen with their ears, but they're listening with their eyes and everything else. So when they're working with clients, because just as well as I do, Dan, that we're not only real estate agents, we're like marriage counselors, we're, everything. We're psychologists, we're everything, because they're coming at us. Every single house is a different story. So a great agent's going to listen with their eyes, their ears, every single sense to really see what someone's motivation is, what their passions are. And with that, the third thing is their follow-up is impeccable. They do not ever follow up. They might have set times that they follow up. They're not just jumping on the phone and going, I got to take this. They follow up. It's impeccable, period. Every single one I know has a solid morning routine. They shut up and listen, and their follow-up is impeccable.
I love those. And I agree with you as well. And is that shut up and listening, as you even said it in a manner of, I call it actively listening, right? Which would be say, which takes it, let's be in rapport, and then let's ask in-depth questions, and then actively listening. And what that means is I'm not even just paying attention to the words that you're saying. I'm paying attention to you, right? You may say yes, but your face says no. Right. And if that's the case, then what I've learned is say, you know what, Scott, I hear what you're saying is yes. And I have a feeling that this may actually be a no.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's the way you just said it, Dan. It's the way you phrase the questions, the way you ask them. My agents, that I coach, I have only 6 agents that I coach one-to-one across the United States, but I mandate that they all use the FORD acronym, Family, Occupation, Recreation, Dreams. They must when they first meet somebody, because it's going to let you know everything about the person and how you're going to be able to serve them best. So you're going to ask them about their family, what they do for work, that's your occupation, what their recreation, what they do for fun and dreams, where they see themselves 5, 10, 15 years down the line. So not only that, but you'll know about them, but you'll know about the tribe that they hang out with, and how you can actively ask for referrals while you're working with them, and even after, if their kids into soccer, hey, any other soccer moms looking to maybe buy or sell real estate. So they work that mental Rolodex. That's another thing an epic mega agent will do, is they're always having their clients work their mental Rolodex to see who they can send them next, so they can service them.
And what I heard you say there, Scott, it's about relating to their world, right? And then because if you ask the question, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell? The natural inclination is going to be no.
It's a closed-ended question, right?
Yeah, right. If you say who in your soccer club, or who of the soccer mothers, right? Because now you've listened that, okay, my kids are in soccer. That's my tribe, and you're putting me into my place of relativity or relatableness, and now I'm thinking more open-minded.
Right. Absolutely. You nailed it. It's like the more you can open a question up without sounding salesy, and if you're just listening to this, I made air quotes, but without sounding salesy, and you can build even more rapport with them. It's just how, because down here, Dan, it's like a lot of people flock to Florida, right? We have a mass exodus coming out of the north right now, moving down here, which is great for me in real estate because I market up there. But you're gonna here. It's like, to be a Florida resident, it's almost a prerequisite to have your real estate license.
Yeah.
So everybody down here is a realtor. It seems like, we have over 30,000 agents in the state, and how many of them are really doing a lot of business? None. Really. But that's what the training is just not there to help people level up. And there's not people like you out there, enough of you people out there to help them, to do that. So if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. What about so right now, coronavirus? I mean, Florida's getting hit hard right now. Do you have friends that have gotten hit by that? I mean, is it taking extra precautions? Is it lax? So tell me about that. Here,
it's actually chill. It's what you see in the media is junk. Like it is. It's like we're cool. We wear the masks, and we do our thing. Well, I wear masks when showing, whatever, and I'm down with whatever I'm asked to do. But it's what you're seeing there is like our cases are up because the testing's up, which is fine. I mean, it's I have my own opinions, but I'm not going to go there. But it's not as bad as what you see. And I'll tell you what, when the rates dropped in March because of it, man, it was like gangbusters. Like, people are buying, and still the rates are low. I mean, I closed a guy earlier today on 700,000 with a 2.975, rate on a conventional. It's like it's not really stopping so much. But I mean, we will be the state that if he needs to shut down, we'll shut down, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But Florida has said we will always be an essential business. Real estate will be. So I'll still work, and I'll still work it. So, and there's a lot of people with a lot of money that live up in New York, Philly, Rhode Island, Boston, Connecticut, that want to come here, and I'm ready for them.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So the market in general, and you're right about those interest rates. I just refinanced my own home 3 weeks ago, right? Because today the interest rates, it's a historic, like it's never been this low ever. Right, and it's continued to hover at that bottom, and so for buyers, they're really able to take advantage of that, or to benefit from that. What about the inventory? I know in Northern Virginia, our inventory is almost non-existent.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a ton here at all.
Yeah,
not at all. But it's and again, that comes down to what you were talking about earlier, is following up with your clients.
Yeah,
and what you even put in your book about follow-up. It's important. So the more that you're following up, and if you've had a buyer that you sold someone something to 2.5 years ago, they're ready to sell.
Yeah.
And right now you'll get top dollar because the inventory is low. So if you've cultivated and farmed your squad, that's what I not only call my podcast listeners my squad, but my clients are my squad. If you cultivated them and followed up with them, and like they say, fortunes in the follow-up, like impeccable with their follow-up. What I said about the 3 things of mega agents. If you're following up with them, you're going to get the listings. And that's what's kept me afloat. Was I was taught by my mentor very young that the fortunes in the follow-up, and always follow up. So I'm still getting the listings because they're like, man, I can sell at the top of the market, and they're moving up, Dan, like in price. And the more you move up in price, there's more inventory. You know what I'm saying? It's those middle ones where there's no inventory. And down here, a starter home's like $500,000. So it's not like, a little house or nothing like that, but it is to them. And they're like, I'm ready for that $1 million buy, or that 700, 800. And then there's more inventory that opens up. So to answer your question, there's not much inventory, but as an agent, if you've been following up with them since you've closed them, then there's definitely fortune there to be mined up, if you will.
Love it. Going back to the, we touched on the on some of the aspects of what the top achievers do, and one that I didn't follow up on was the morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that the top achievers, the mega agents, they typically will have some sort of morning routine, mm-hmm. and they'll sort of get themselves in the right mindset. What types of things are we talking about here?
Like me, I do 3 things, man. I get moving, I get hydrated, and I get lit. And what I mean by that, Dan, is I get up and I have a trampoline, right? And I get those lymph nodes moving. You know what I'm saying? And other agents are big on trampolines here. It's weird. I was told about it by a mega agent here. And so I get moving.
Trampoline or big? What are we talking about?
Just a small one, man, that you can put right in, because
you just sort of
such thing as basements here, so space is limited. You got to be able to fold everything up and put it places. So you do that. I get up, I get moving, and then I get hydrated. My hydration is 12 ounces of distilled water. I got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I got a quarter teaspoon of turmeric. I got some pink Himalayan sea salt, and I got a lemon wedge, and I mix that together room temperature, and I slam it, and it really gets my pH balance going.
I recently wrote the book, Real Estate Evolution, the 10-step guide to C.P.I, consistent and predictable income for real estate agents. I wrote this book because I have sold real estate since 2007 and developed an immense amount of experience and knowledge. During my journey, I've witnessed hundreds and maybe even thousands of real estate agents fail in this business, and I firmly believe that that's a shame. In Real Estate Evolution, I will show you the exact steps that I have used as a real estate salesperson to sell 1 to 15 homes every single month for the past 129 consecutive months. It took me more than 2 decades to learn the sales and persuasion techniques, and more than 1 decade to master the real estate sales techniques to be able to produce the content that makes up this book. And it took me more than a year to write at a pace of 3 hours every single day. If you're a real estate agent and you're looking for consistent and predictable income in your business, I invite you to get the book, Real Estate Evolution. And you can get that by visiting www.therealestateevolution.com. And I'll even give it to you for free as long as you pay for the postage.
And then after that, I get lit, which means I get out. And luckily I'm looking at the Atlantic Ocean right now. I get out with my dog, and we go get walking and get moving. A lot of the movers and shakers, we see each other on the walks. You know what I'm saying? You're saying, hey, what's going on? There's an agent. You might have a closing with her, or you're battling with another agent. You still see them. So, that's one thing. And another part of the morning routine around here is being seen. And there's like a Starbucks and a place called Prosecco that I like to go to 2 to 3 mornings a week, and just make sure I'm seen, because there's a lot of attorneys, probate attorneys, which is this is heaven's waiting room, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you make friends with as many probate attorneys as you can, because the deals can come from them. Yeah. So I know I digress a little bit, but that's
cool.
The routine of what a lot of the agents do. They get up, they're moving, they're getting hydrated or getting their nutrition in however they want, and then they get lit. They get outside. It's Florida. You want to be outside here.
All right, turmeric, lemon wedge,
vinegar.
Vinegar. What was the other one? Was there a fourth one?
There's distilled water in there. Room temperature. You gotta want it to pool in your body a little bit. Like cold water will go to all your organs and kind of like freak them out a little bit in the morning. But if you put the room temperature, it'll start working on that pH balance, and it really helps a lot. That's just something that I was taught. And something that I do, and I do it every single morning. I actually mix it the night before. I put it in like a glass bottle, shake it up, and slam it, and get it over with. It doesn't taste good.
No, it doesn't taste good.
No way, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's probably a lot better than the 3 or 4 cups of coffee, though.
Yeah, you know what? I do have 2 cups a day, and I have one in the morning, then one like at 1 o'clock. So luckily we get to have it, So, but I like the good coffee, the good stuff, the dark brews.
And then follow up. So you hit on that a couple of times. The follow up, that the high achievers are, the fortunes in the follow up. And so I've also noticed that as well. I've seen a lot of people that have the ability to generate business, because if you're looking at the real estate business, really any business, it's about generating opportunity first, and then it's about building an organization, then it's about leadership. Perfect. And for some, they're able to figure out how to generate that opportunity at the foundation. Yet they're so intentional about lead generation that they're not following up. And maybe I had somebody 6 months ago that says, "Hey, next year I may think about buying or selling," and then I forget to call them. So how does an agent do that effectively? to not lose that one from 6 months ago.
You mentioned something that I left out is you have to prospect. Every agent prospects, whether they have a team prospecting for them or they're doing them themselves. But as an agent's moved on and you have a little bit, I just have a small little team, and they're doing the kind of the morning prospects. I have, expireds and stuff they're calling, whatever. But like the follow up, I use a CRM for Wise Agent. It's simple. I like it. Yeah. And I can assign the clients. Like if a client came in through Jerry, my buyer's agent, we put them on there. So, after the closing, like 3 months after closing, Jerry's already alerted him, and you need to call him. And if I find out, and you will put notes in after you called them. And I look every night as part of my closing, my COB, my closing day business. And, I'll look. And if Jerry hasn't called on me, like, hey, what's going on with the Rochons? Why haven't you called them? He's like, oh, man. I'm like, okay. You have it until tomorrow to call him. If not, I'm going to call him. I'm going to take him as a client. So I put the reminders out there. It's so critical that you use a solid CRM. Top Produce is fantastic. There's other ones that I use, but I just love Wise Agent. It's just for some reason it resonates with me. I can have tasks. Your closings, everything's sitting right in front of you. It's $23 a month, and they don't have an app. But I'll tell you what, when I'm working a CRM, I'm usually in front of my computer working anyways, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah. So, and for me, I just tell people, say, look, I don't care what CRM you use, if it's a shoebox, whatever it is, you just have to use it. So whatever CRM that you're going to use is the CRM that you should use.
Yep. Yeah, that's great advice. Absolutely. Yeah. No matter what, but the brain, and people say I have a elephant brain. Yeah, you don't, dude. Benjamin Franklin said that the faintest of ink is more powerful than any mind. Write it down or get it down somewhere so you can see what you need to do that day. Period.
Yeah, for years I had a big binder that was my CRM of follow-ups.
Yeah.
And I would still do that today if I could get away with it, but it seems like my team members they won't let me get away with it.
They'll go through your binder and be like, "Dude, what do you?"
my Jolene, who's my director of operations, she thinks that anytime that I ask her to transcribe something, it's because it's a punishment, and so that's her perspective of trying to read my handwriting.
Poor Jolene.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome. I
know we're short on time, so you've got a lot of wisdom, you've got a lot of experience, you've taken a lot of time to be able to study successful people, and you've been successful in multiple markets. So if you're a real estate agent, I'm going to ask you from three perspectives: from somebody that's just getting into the business, somebody that's more seasoned, and somebody that is having a high level of success, but they may not be able to live the life that they are designing. What advice would you give them, or from what you've learned? And let's start with that new agent. What would you share with that new agent?
Well, all three of them, I'd say call you. You know what I'm saying?
all right, that's it. No, just
new agents, don't get outworked or out-networked.
Okay. Outworked or out-networked. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was told. The middle-of-the-road agents, I would say hire a coach. I mean, I'm being quick here. This is what I tell people: hire a coach, because you're closing $2.5-3 million, or maybe even $5 million, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be closing more. And there are people like they're like yourself, and I don't want to take anything away from you, but like me as well, that can get you to the next level. And the mega agent, they're the people that I've been one, not in a long time, but I would the mega agents, I still have them come to me. We'll have sessions, if you will, because I know I'm a coach, and we'll sit down and we'll kind of dig in, really dig into what's pushing your buttons right now, because they have a different perspective. They've been through the trenches, they've been through the wars, and they'll, I can kind of get them. Like, I don't know, do you watch Billions?
Yeah.
Wendy Rhodes, kind of Wendy Rhodes, I'm, the psychologist, and, kind of sit down and, just kind of get their perspective on where they're at, what they're stuck on. And then if I can put them in touch with the right person, I'm going to, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm a certified coach or whatnot, but I'm not the person that is the end all be all. There are people that are like yourself and other people that are leveled up way above me with regards to, productivity and stuff like that. So, the young agent, they'll get outworked, out network. That means like prospect all the time. Middle of the road agent, like we were talking about earlier, cultivate what you have and grow from that while you're still prospect. And then the mega agents, I think that you really have to dig in to what you think your blind spot is and have someone help you find that and blast through it.
Yeah, and for those mega agents, I find out all the time it's going to revolve around their time more than anything else, right? Because it's like, and that goes into getting the right people around them and leveraging.
Right. Yeah.
So in a manner they can afford it, right? And that's a challenge. Yeah.
Exactly. My big thing is I love to read. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. And what I'll do is I'll always have 3 or 4 books going at once. I'll have like a book. Like right now, I'm really big into, because I'm interviewing him, is John Asraf's Inner Size. Fantastic to help your mindset, right? And then I'll have a book, about real estate. Boom. I'll read 5 to 10 pages a day of your book right now, right? And then I'll have a book like, like this one right over here, like a kind of an entertaining one, The $1 Billion Whale, the story of Joe Lowe that basically hooked up with Leonardo DiCaprio and made the movie Wolf of Wall Street and found out all the funds were from some bad. So I entertain myself, I educate myself, and I level up myself. Like your book helps me level up. Also, Lee Iacocca, I'm into his biography again for the 4th time. So I'm always feeding my mind stuff because I'm getting stories told by like Iacocca. I'm getting your story told to me through your C.P.I. I'm getting fun stories told, and then I'm also working on my brain, like I'm always reading something that's going to level up the way I'm thinking. So because again, how my past was, my programming has always got to be a workout. It always has got to be worked out. I don't have rich family. I don't have people that like that. And I love my father, to death. He's my best friend, but he's just, he worked on the line at General Motors, and he lives comfortably in the hills in Alabama now. And me, I'm a little bit different than that, and I love him. But for me to be different, my identity, like I made a buttload of money in 2003, like crazy amounts of money, like 7 figures, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like stupid money. And like, I didn't have the identity to keep it. It was kind of like the lottery ticket winner. You don't have the identity, you blow it. The theory of relativity comes into effect where when you make money, everyone's your relative. Everyone's coming to you and I lost it all. And the market crashed and I lost even more. So like reading, it's like free. I'm impressed with your book, dude, because I picked it up. I was like, all right, cool. He was a solid interview. He knows his stuff. But you have stories, man. You have like war stories in there, and you have like what you do and when you woke up and did this and what you should be doing and stuff like that. So it's entertaining, man. People got to read it.
Well, thank you for the compliment as well, Scott. Yeah. All right. So if I am a real estate agent and I'm in New England, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, and I've got some clients relocating to you, or if I'm that person relocating to your area, how do I get in touch with you?
agentferguson.com. Everything's on there. Agent Ferguson. Just like, 007, agentferguson.com is there. There's also Palm Beach County Homebros.com. But agentferguson.com, everything's in there, and we welcome all referrals. We pay between 25 and 30%, to whoever's referring. They're in great hands. And if you make a move down here after you send them to us, we'll hand them right over to you. Because that's what happens with a lot of agents that are like in Manhattan. They're like, I'll send this guy to you, but I'm moving down there in 5 years. I'm like, hey, it's yours. So any agents that are up there, we'll definitely. And you're around DC, man. I get a lot of business from, like, I sold 4 houses to people who worked in the Pentagon in the past 2 years.
Well, you're my guy. You're my guy. I'll hit you up.
Yeah. So we're on the east side of Florida, the prettier side, the bluer water. I live in like Jupiter, Juno Beach, so I'm more laid back than Miami or Fort Lauderdale. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, Scott, thank you again. I know that you're short on time, so I'll respect it. And I really appreciate you and look forward to being able to mastermind together in the future and helping each other.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Love you, man. I thank you so much for coming on, bro.
My pleasure. All right. See you, Scott.
Bye now.
Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe to Get Rock Solid Coaching channel and stay ahead of the game.